Nothing too interesting to report today. I haven't gotten any response for the application either. And even though I said several times that I wanted to read and write, um, I'm just still not that good at going and doing things that I want to do for some reason, even though it should be easier. Um, I'm just upset about a lot of different possibilities. Um, and honestly, it was just hard to focus today with um, just a lot of stuff seeing in my head. Uh, I mean, I know that's not really excuse because obviously I could do these things if I want to. That's just an explanation. Um, what's the difference? You know what the difference is. One is a description of what happened. One is saying, no, you see, it's that fault that I just, it's not my fault. I'm taking ownership. That's the difference. Um, I still might go and try and write after this. It's not 11 yet. Um, I still have time. I don't have a headache. Um, I've been thinking to myself, um, I've always hated, no, hate's not necessarily the right word, because hate means different things to different people. I'll say strongly dislike, because that's more exact a term. I've always strongly disliked psychiatrists and psychiatry hospitals due to the fact that the whole entire thing is science of the mind of parts we can't see that have like no physical um, explanation for the majority of everyone. So it's basically just going in and like putting categories for it is putting categories for certain people, but it's considered a science because it's something that's professionally practiced. And I think it should be something more akin to groups giving themselves names based on a fashion they like. That being said, I know and I've always known that I have a lot of trouble understanding what other people see the world as. And so I thought maybe not exactly living in one, but maybe just going and trying to get near to one, um, just asking psychiatrists like questions on how the majority of people go and see the world. Because even like I said, even though what they practice is more closer to alchemy than to actual science, they definitely do know um, the general thing on what a lot of people believe. And I will say, something in psychiatry, some of it's connected. There are like philosophical parts of it, and I can understand philosophy. Um, Truthfully, psychiatry is definitely more closer to philosophy. I wouldn't be too against it if that's how it would be described more as in science, because a lot of people, when they'll get diagnosed with like depression or something, they'll just say, okay, well, a science person said this, so this is my life now. I will take medication because that is what this person described me as, because that's how my personality aligns with multiple people. And they don't go and even try to change anything. They just go and rely on, drugs to go and help themselves, which is fine, obviously, but also they could do so much more. Because if you have a mental block that people will will say that you aren't going to go and get any better. This is just a label you have. They're just going to keep that label. And it's also easier because if you have that kind of label, you can go and have an excuse for a lot of your actions. And of course, obviously, there are cases when it is like a genuine diagnosis that isn't going to get better with any medication, or that person's mind simply just won't allow them to look at things differently or change their own mind. I mean, I can see that. I know I'm smart. I know that um, schizophrenia is stupid, and that realistically speaking, I should not go and have and stuff in my head. But also at the same time, I know that because it's a result of a lot of things that have happened in my life, how I see the world, possibly supernatural, though there's no way I'm going to be able to confirm that in this life unless I see literal God come down from the heavens and tell me how things are going down. Either all these things are completely out of my control, or to a certain degree. Like I said, I know I can go and get better because I was better at one point in my life, or at least a point where I didn't remember anything. And I know, oh, that there's some days that I can do worse on, and some days I can do better on with just dealing with things. And yeah, if I can go and get it down to a science. I definitely can because um I have made progress. When I was a younger kid, like I said, I'm just going to completely ignore the fact on what's causing it. I'm just going to say how I deal with it specifically. When I was a younger kid, um, I was definitely what you'd call scared of a lot of these things. Now, I'm not scared of anything. I would say that's progress. Um, I would say I'm more or leaned on now frustration and I guess sadness when it comes to these things because it sets me on how obvious um I these things are that I don't believe in at a certain time, or how like stupid I would be to fall for something like that, or even worse, that it is actually real, and I think I was stupid to fall for it, but it was actually real, and you don't understand, you're missing the patterns. That's an even worse feeling because there is really no way to go and prove it. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to figure out a way to prove it necessarily, even though I do have a belief in my own head of how these things work. Um, Still, either way, I can definitely improve on this. Um, anyway, I was gonna say something else. Oh yeah, right. So anyway, psychiatrists definitely know about how, well, the majority of people can think, or at least the majority studied by psychiatrists. And so if I ask questions on how people perceive things, or more of the philosophy of why people perceive things this way, it could go and help me um, have a better understanding of myself in a way. I mean, not necessarily myself, because I'm not going to be telling them anything about myself, but I'll be able to compare and contrast, myself with other people. And I don't know. I mean, it's nothing I've tried yet. I haven't actually tried listening to anything they've said, seriously. So I'm gonna try that. Again, obviously, I'm not gonna go and get an appointment or anything because I hate that stuff. I'm just gonna find like one who's a professional psychiatrist and then just talk to them about, I guess, life. Um, and then obviously, I would plan to do that with many other people I meet. I just don't know anyone like intimately enough to just talk to, besides my family, which they don't understand anything, or at least, I mean, I say they. When I say they, always I usually mean my mother and father. My brothers and sisters would understand it perfectly. Uh, I'm just better off at going handling everything myself because you tell one person something and everybody gets involved. The next thing you know, you go and or get scheduled for multiple appointments and get put in some insane asylum. That last part hasn't happened to me yet. Hope it doesn't. Uh, yeah, though, that's all I wanted to say for today.